Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. The international break is here, but still a lot to discuss in regard to Arsenal. So we will be talking about Saka's return date. Will he be available for the Real Madrid game? We'll be discussing that. Saliba's contract situation. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumors of, maybe Saliba moving to Real Madrid, Gabriel moving to Saudi Arabia. Personally, I still think they're going to be here for the next couple of years. We'll talk about Saliba. We'll also be talking about Andrea Berta is about to start his Arsenal journey with us, and very crucial summer transfer window. What has David Ornstein had to say about that? Partey, Jorginho, Kiwior, they're going to stay. Let's discuss all that. So let's start with Bukayo Saka. We know the time Bukayo Saka got his injury, man, it was painful. It was painful because we still had a chance then. We still hadn't played well this season that much, but we still had a chance. With Saka, you always have a chance. But when he gets injured, it's problematic, especially if you don't sign a player in that January transfer window, it's a problem. So how far is he from returning? Will we see him this season? So according to John Cross of the Mirror, Bukayo Saka is on course to return in time for Arsenal's Champions League quarter-final home leg against Real Madrid on April 8th. Arsenal's hope is that Saka makes good progress over the next 10 days and could even be on the bench against Fulham on April 1st. So I'm happy the international break is here. First, obviously, just take a break. We've not had a break for like 4 months. Okay, we had one when you went in the Carabao Cup and the players went to Dubai, but I think we need another break. Once again, some players are looking tired, and obviously, it's more time for players like Bukayo Saka to recover. I didn't expect him to be back on the bench for the Fulham game. If that is the case, that would be a huge boost for us. So a month ago, I said if because it was starting to look like Liverpool were going away from us, and I said if PSV knock us out of the Champions League, there's literally no need for Saka to come back this season. Maybe bring him back in the last game of the season, like we did with Turi and Timber last season, and then start building up to next season because this season is pretty much over. But in the Champions League, there's still a chance. A lot of people think we don't have a chance against Real Madrid at all. But even those people, if Saka returns, maybe there's a little bit of improvement in the hope in terms of us winning that game. But it would be a huge boost for us. Just even having him on the bench, we have suffered. We don't have any players who can take on anyone like Saka does. The way they will usually just pass the ball to Saka and he makes things happen. At the beginning of this season, that cross for Havertz against PSG, little things like that, it comes from Saka. Is absolutely incredible in terms of doing that. He already had like 10 plus assists already before he got injured. The corner kicks that he takes, we not only miss his presence in open play, even the corner kicks. How many corners did he score from his side when he was available? Big games, Tottenham and City away, all those games. Ever since he got injured, we went on a dry spell in terms of not scoring corners. And on top of that, I think Saka also helps two particular players. That is Odegaard and Ben White. Whenever it's playing next to Odegaard, I think like they have such a good connection. I know this one it's been Timber playing on the right side because White has been injured, but we know that connection. Maybe Timber can also have that connection with Saka, and it would be beneficial to us. So Saka would be huge for us. It gives us an extra chance. If our chance was 10% to beat Real Madrid and Real Madrid had 90, if Saka is back, that could easily be 30%, let's say. If for those ones who want to keep it very realistic, it can be 30% chance. If you thought you had a 40% chance to beat Real Madrid, maybe that goes to 50%. If you thought you had a 60% chance, maybe that goes to 80% with Bukayo Saka there. So it's very important. Even in the league, big win against Chelsea. We needed to secure top 4. I think we need like 3 more wins at least to be safe for that second place and not drag ourselves into a top 4 battle. But with Saka back, that would motivate everyone. So Nwaneri has also had to overplay a lot over the past 3 months. He's had to play too many games. There's a game where he was rested. He was so tired. So it's not great. It's not great. It has not been great for us missing Saka. So it would be huge for us to have him back before the end of the season, especially for that Real Madrid game. I don't think he's going to just bounce back right away and start scoring goals from the first game and start having a 9 out of 10 match. If he does, he really is different. But even just having him on the bench for Fulham, for Everton, even for Real Madrid, and then maybe available to start for the second game, that would be great for us. So Bukayo Saka, let's see how it goes. But hugely beneficial for us if Saka is back, man. We have absolutely missed him. Like, if we didn't already know how important he was, now we all know how important Saka is in this team. We can literally just completely drop off if Saka is not there. he makes things happen, both in terms of goals and assists. So it's huge for us. So let's now talk about another player who's very huge for us, and you need him to stay. That is William Saliba. What's the latest on him? According to Fabrizio Romano, Real Madrid love and are monitoring William Saliba, who they view as the Jude Bellingham of defenders. Saliba is more like the Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi of defenders. The guy is so good. I even feel like that comparison. Bellingham is great, but what Saliba has done for us those 3 years, I don't think anyone expected him to be that good. However, Saliba said he's happy at Arsenal, and Andrea Berta will create a new contract for the defender. So the contract is obviously going to get a lot of money. I think we discussed that like a month back, and I think he deserves it. I saw a stat saying we've gone almost 500 days without conceding more than 2 goals in a game. Do you know how crazy that is? That is because of players like Gabriel and Saliba being there. Because the others usually rotate. It's been Ben White, it's been Domiasu, it's been Timber, it's been Zinchenko, it's been Calafiori, it's been Lewis Kelly, it's been Ramsdale, it's been Raya, but Gabriel and Saliba have always been there. And that's how good it was. Those all close to 500 days. Obviously, Raya was there with Gabriel and Saliba, but those two are very important. Their availability, the way they help us, just be very comfortable. Like against Chelsea, when we were missing chances, I was like, oh, we're going to concede. It's going to be 1-1. And then it got to the 60th minute, Gabriel was making tackles, Saliba was making tackles, and you start thinking, actually, no, we might not concede here because of these two guys. Like they're so good, so good. And a lot of teams will want them. Like I think, the way we'd argue with Man City fans and Chelsea fans about Palmer and Foden and Saka, and then you'd go here and argue with the Liverpool fan about this and that. All of them agree that Gabriel and Saliba are probably the best defenders in the world. Maybe they would put Van Dijk in the argument, but most of them agree in terms of partnership. Those are the two that no one ever argues with. That's how good they are. And the way both of them help us attacking-wise as well, Gabriel has won us so many points this season. Even Saliba has chipped in with big goals against Man United, against Fulham away. Others would have lost that game, for example. So both of them are very, very crucial. We have to keep both of them. If this Arsenal team are going to achieve anything in next year or the next year after that, if you're going to win trophies in the next 2-3 seasons, those two guys have to be here. And the improvement that we've seen from Gabriel since 2020 has been remarkable. Same with Saliba. So we need to keep those players. I think many people expect if it's a player who's going to leave, it's going to be Saliba rather than Gabriel, because people put Saliba above Gabriel. I think this season particularly, Gabriel has been better. Last season it was Saliba. I think both of them are pretty much on the same level. Both of them are very, very good. But we need to keep both of them. To get a partnership like that is not easy. All the best teams to have won things, they have this kind of partnerships, Vidic and Ferdinand, Adams and Kiwior, Steve Bold, and then you go to Chelsea, Terry and Carvalho. You have to have this sort of partnership. So Saliba new contract would be deserved, and increase in salary would be deserved as well. So absolutely no problem with that. I cannot it would be like a new signing. Getting Saliba to sign a new contract, it would be like a new signing. So let's see how that one goes. More on Andrea Berta. So from Fabrizio as well, Andrea Berta will start his new chapter as Arsenal director in the upcoming weeks. Plan confirmed. The contract has been sealed last week, as reported, and the new director already spoke with Mikel Arteta about future plans. It's exciting. Every time we get a new player, a new striker, a new winger, just in general, a new player. Some people would say a new manager. I don't want a new manager right now, but when you got Emery, it was exciting. When you got Arteta, it was exciting. When you get a new director, it's exciting because you get to see something new. Now, with a new director, I'm really looking forward to the summer transfer window. How differently will the business be handled? Are we now going to be hearing of striker links instead of just defenders and goalkeepers? Which new links are we going to hear about? It's always been the same players over the last 3 years. It's Isaac, it's Vlahovic, it's Nico Williams, it's Sesko. All the same players. It's been the same players that you've been linked to. Caicedo 2 years ago, same players. Maybe the new director get to hear about different players that we haven't been linked to, and we actually have a chance of getting those players, which is great. Now, Arteta did a very good job in terms of putting us in conversations for this kind of players, because players like Declan Rice would never have signed him 5 years ago. No chance we'd have signed someone like Declan Rice. So being in those conversations, it's great. Now, having an experienced director on top of that, we can definitely compete for most of the players and get the Champions League football this season and have a plan for the transfer window. That would be huge. So I cannot wait for what Andrea Berta is going to, deliver for us for this transfer window. The first one we've had without a do since like 2018, 2019. So that's a long time. Anzo Ozil actually confirmed that Andrea Berta has begun work at us, maybe not like literally, but he's obviously started to, plan for things, all those guys, maybe not at the Emirates or at the Arsenal offices, but he has begun work, having signed his contract earlier this week. A large section of the transfer budget has been allocated to improving the attack force, and it's a lot to do. It is a lot of work to do. 2 seasons ago, we just needed a striker and a backup for Saka. Maybe even a backup for Saka, it wasn't that much 2 seasons ago, but you needed a striker. Last 1 year and a half, we've needed a backup for Saka and a striker. Now things have changed again. Now Havertz is injured, Saka's injured, Jesus is injured again. Trossard and Martinelli have not been on form. Martinelli has not been on form for 2 seasons now. Trossard not his best season. So there's been talk about both of them, one of them leaving. If one of them leaves, we need a left winger. With Saka, we need a backup for him next season. If Noneri is going to play in midfield, strike force. Now that Havertz and Jesus are injured, do we just need 1 striker or 2 strikers, or someone who can play both positions? We've put so much burden on Odegaard to create too many chances. We need another number 10 to help out, maybe a backup, or move Odegaard to the number 8, have a different number 10. There's a lot to do, a lot to decide on what to do. I think we need like 3 attacking players, to be honest. From the midfield to the attack, we need like 3 attacking players. So hopefully Andrea Berta helps in terms of that. Let's now talk about David Austin. We talked about the 300 million the other day. A lot of people are like, nah, 300 million is not possible. Now, David Austin was asked about it. He said he's not 100% sure about the figure, but he said Arsenal are expected to have a pretty busy summer. This is due to the club posting healthy financial results, looking likely to qualify for the Champions League again, and not spending in the winter window. So hopefully this is true. This time there's no excuses. The fact that we didn't spend in the January transfer window, and we've seen, we've not really been in a title race this season. Once again, disappointing when it mattered in the Carabao Cup semi-final, disappointing when United are down to 10 men in the FA Cup. This is a big window. This feels like last chance saloon once again. If we go again to next season with poor planning again, and then Man City and Liverpool are 20 points ahead of us by February, it would not look great at all. So right now, only Liverpool is ahead of us. Man City have a rebuild to do. Let's not let them rebuild and then pass us again. Let's not let Chelsea catch up with us. Let's not let United and Tottenham move from 15th and 14th and catch up with us over the next couple of years. We should not allow that to happen. So it's a big summer transfer window to get everything right. I don't think we'll have another chance again for next season. Even if you go into next season again, if you don't do enough work this summer transfer window, then we go into next season, what will happen by the time we get to next season? Havertz is heading towards the end of his Arsenal career. Maybe all of a sudden you need to replace, who knows, Ben White at right back. Maybe he's about to leave. All of a sudden you need to get another centre back. Maybe if Gabriel or Saliba, one of them leaves, you need to do more work. So when you have 2 or 3 positions to sort them out. Don't let it get to 4, 5, 6 different positions, and all of a sudden you need to sign 10 players. Let's not get into that position. After Xhaka left, we only really needed a replacement for Xhaka and a striker. That is it. Now it's a backup for Saka and maybe a left winger. Let's not get into next season again, and you're talking about a defender and this and that. No, this feels like last chance saloon for sure. Let's go to the next one. David Austin was asked about Partey and Jorginho, and he said it's not settled yet as far as I'm aware, but a very good chance it may be influenced by the status of potential arrivals in that position. So again, in the last news video, we talked about Andrea Berta liking Bruno Guimaraes. The chances of signing both Bruno Guimaraes and Zubimendi are slim, but according to reports, Berta wants to sign both of them. Now, if you sign both of them, you're not going to get 3 attackers as well, unless they're planning something crazy, which we've never really done. So that would be something new. But you have to keep some players, whether they like it or not. You can't sell 9 players and then we get 3 more players. We've already made that mistake last summer of selling way too many players and not replacing them. These players were going to have to stay. You cannot give away Zinchenko, Tierney, Kiwior, and then you give away Martinelli, Trossard. No, that's too many. You have to have players on the bench still. So Partey and Jorginho, if you give away both of them, does that mean Rice is going back to the 6th position, and then you have to get another number 10 or number 8? That has to be the case. But the way the team has been very slim this season in terms of numbers, you have to at least, I think, keep at least one of them. But who, I don't know. There's still reports that it is talking to Jorginho to stay. Partey's contract is ending. I don't know what their plan is, but let's see. But both of them, definitely, one of them might leave. And if it's both of them, then we're definitely going to do something new in midfield. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, their age is not on their side, both of them. Jakub Kiwior is reassessing his future at Arsenal this summer with the defending statue of game time. Last summer, the poll attracted Premier League and European inquiries, and Arsenal are now willing to part ways for a reasonable fee. So this is another position. Once again, I don't think you can just say, okay, Zinchenko, out you go. Kiwior, out you go. Tierney, out you go. Those are three defenders. How many will you have remaining? Ben White, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Calafiori, and Lewis Kelly is a midfield, and Lewis Kelly is a midfield, and Calafiori is better going forward. So then you have to keep at least one more player. And we don't count Tomiyasu really because he's already injured now until December. He's going to miss half of next season. So who's going to be backup for Gabriel and Saliba? That's the thing. If you say Ben White, then who's going to be backup for Timber at right back? We've seen this season, you cannot risk it. You cannot just say, okay, Ben White is going to be cover for both of them. What about if Ben White is injured again? Who's backup for Timber now? Who's backup for Saliba? So you need enough players. I think you need at least two players in each position. And yeah, I don't think you can afford to sell. Tierney is already going. I don't think you can afford to sell both Zinchenko and Kiwior unless we are going to sign another defender again. So very interesting. It's going to be a busy transfer window, as they've said. It's going to be very, very busy because I don't know, reasonable fee. How much is a reasonable fee for Kiwior? Are we talking 10 million? Are we talking 15? Are we talking 25? Are we talking 30 million? He hasn't gotten a lot of game time. I think if you were to ask Qatar, you would like to keep him as a backup, but I don't know if Kiwior would like to stay just not playing because you do know you're not going to play ahead of Gabriel and Saliba. But another thing we want to see next season is good rotation. I don't want to see Gabriel and Saliba and Odegaard and Saka and Rice playing every single game, 3-0 up in the Carabao Cup, Saka and Gabriel are coming on, 5-1 up in the Champions League, Saliba and Havertz are still coming on. No. Next one, we have to use the squad. We have to have enough players to use. If it's 5-1, bring on Waneri and Butler at age. We don't have to, bring on Saka and Odegaard in those positions. Now, I want us to use the squad. So Gabriel and Saliba as well, if they don't need to play, they don't need to play. If one of them plays in this game, then the other one plays in this one. Apart from the Premier League games and the Champions League games, obviously they can play all of them. But if rotation can happen, why not? If you're 3-0 up against Leeds United at home next season, there's no need of having both of them on the pitch. You just need to rotate a certain way. So let's hope that is the case. But that is the latest. There's still a lot that I haven't talked about. I'll talk about in the next video, Isaac and all that. There's been a lot of news, but let me know what you make about what we've talked about today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.